Okay, welcome everyone. Good morning. You probably know spring has sprung, yet it's still cold. So this quarter, we are going to discuss more of life science. And to start this unit, we will talk about plants. We'll talk about how to grow them and learn the different parts and different ways how we could possibly grow more plants. And so I would like to welcome you again to my Brand's teaching channel. So what do plants need to grow? And today, your learning targets would be, I can name the parts of plants, I can identify what plants need, and I can explore how plants grow. And just the same, I am Ambran. I love plants. And let's find out more about how they grow and what they need to grow. Okay, so to start up, we have the first part of a plant is, of course, the seeds. Many plants need life as a seed, or they start life as a seed. What am I saying? The picture you are looking at right now is a sunflower seed. All right, so it comes from the sunflower plant. Some seeds are nuts like acorns. Some seeds are inside fruits like with apples, oranges. There are other plants, there are other fruits that have seeds inside them. All right, so the seed falls from an adult plant. It sinks into some soil. So it will sink into some soil like what you are looking at right now. The soil has nutrients in it, of course. These nutrients are a bit like tiny food for the seed. They are too small for us to see. The seed grows a root. There is a small root, and the root grows downwards. The root helps to hold the plants firm in the soil. The roots take up water and nutrients from the soil. They also keep the plant in the ground. So after the root, the seed grows a green shoot. Whoa. There are two leaves already. Normally, they will only have two kind of like seed leaves. All right, two seed leaves. If they are dicotyledon or dicots. If they are like corn, they will only have one seed. The shoot grows up towards the sun. Light from the sun gives the plant energy. Plants use the energy from the sun to make their own food. So I think I have informed you before that a single plant is a single manufacturer because they can manufacture their own food. We cannot even manufacture our own food. We can only cook, but we have to buy it somewhere else. But plants, they live by themselves. So they use the energy from the sun to make their own food. As well as light, plants need something called carbon dioxide to make their food. Carbon dioxide is a gas. It is in the air that humans breathe out. We cannot see it too, but it comes out of our noses and mouths. So remember I told you, we give out carbon dioxide that plants need. They give us oxygen that we breathe also. We breathe oxygen. Plants need water to survive. So you have the sun, you have the soil, you have water. Plants get water from the rain, from the snow when it melts. Sometimes people water plants from a watering can or hose. Plants use water and carbon dioxide to make food from the sun's energy. So look at those three. The plant uses its roots to soak up the water from the soil. Plants use its root. Remember earlier in the slide, I have already told you the roots take up water and nutrients from the soil. All right, so the water flows up the stem to reach every part, the stem and the leaves. So the stem, the one that the arrow is pointing at, transports water and nutrients to all parts of the plant. So now we'll talk about the leaves. Soil, carbon dioxide, light, and water all help the sunflower to grow. The sunflower will grow taller. It grows more leaves. These leaves help the plant to soak up the light from the sun, to gather all those light coming from the sun. So the leaves also, which is pointed out by the arrow, use a process called photosynthesis to produce food for the plant. They use light, water, and carbon dioxide to do this. Photosynthesis. All right, let's continue. Now we go to the flowers. So we start from the roots, the stem, the leaves. Now we go to the flowers. The sunflower, that's why it's called the sunflower, is because it looks like the sun. And of course, it's a flower. The sunflower grows a flower head. At first, the flower head will be closed, just like this one. Soon, the flower head will open and reveal its petals. That will be our next topic, maybe next week. All right, so now it will open and reveal its petals. That is opening slowly. And the petals are brightly colored. The bright color attracts bees and other insects, butterflies also. All right, pollen. The pollen is inside the flower. Inside the flower head, there is nectar. Nectar is like a sugary syrup. The insects like to eat this nectar. While the insects are eating the nectar, something called pollen gets stuck to them. So look at the body of this bee. It is almost full of pollen already. So the pollen looks like yellow dust. When the insect flies to a new sunflower, the pollen falls off and lands inside a new sunflower. This is called pollination. When the pollen from two plants that are the same type mix, it allows the plant to create seeds. So now we have the new seeds. The seeds are inside the flower, you know that. Soon, the seeds will be ready to fall from the flower head. Then, these seeds will start to grow into sunflowers too. So this is what you can see on the store. This is what you see. I have samples of this in my camera. I have a lot of them, but I did not have it right now. Okay, what do plants need? That's the thing. So we have alongside the parts of the plants, I have already discussed, or I'm already giving you the details about what they need. So one of them is air and light and water. And of course, the soil should have nutrients and warmth. They should not be exposed. There are some plants that can be exposed under the sun for several hours, but some plants do not like that. So they need warmth. All right, the sun and more facts about plants. If a seed is not warm enough, it will not germinate. And germination is when the seed starts to sprout into a plant. So when it is starting to open up, it swells up. That's already germinating. it is already germinating. If a plant does not have enough light, it will grow to be tall and flimsy as it searches for light. It will probably die. So, but it doesn't need a lot of light. If a plant is not watered enough, its stems will be fragile and have very dry leaves, and eventually it will die. All right, so the first step in the life cycle of a plant is, of course, the seed, and it should be planted in the soil, just like what these two children are doing. The seed can be planted in a pot also, or in the ground outside. So they are planting seeds outside. All right, and again, these are what plants need: water, sunlight, soil. Now, I have mentioned a while ago about germination. This sunflower seed is already swelling, and now the first root is out. Once the seed is planted in the soil and watered, it will take about 1 to 2 weeks before it starts to grow. That is the germination stage. And once the seed germinates, it will start to sprout and roots appear. The roots help the plant get food and water from the soil. The roots will help it to get nutrients and water too. The first few days will be that the seed is going to push through the soil. That's why I remember last week I was telling you, when you plant seeds, you only put just maybe thin soil or dirt on top of it, because the seedling is going to push itself up and show up and get some sunlight. Now, if it shows up like the one in the picture, it is now a seedling. It is still very tiny during this stage, and the roots will anchor it in the soil and then keep it from blowing away. Just imagine a plant that has no roots. All right, so now your plant is this big. As the seedling continues to grow, it will begin to get leaves, and the stem will grow longer and longer. Now the stem helps the plant stand upright to get enough sunlight. The stem also delivers water from the roots through tiny tubes. The leaves soak up the light and air to make food for the plant, and that process now is, again, you met photosynthesis earlier, so photosynthesis. So the plant cannot make its food with only one of them, one of the light and the air. All right, so it needs both of them to make food for the plant. So during the night, I think plants cannot make their food because there is no sunlight. All right, they just have to sleep probably. They're going to rest. Now, the stem is mature enough, and there will be some buds. A bud will begin to appear on the plant, which will turn into a flower. So a bud is an unopened flower. Depending on the type of seed planted, the flower may turn into either a fruit or a vegetable, or it will stay as a flower. Just like with sunflower that I have mentioned earlier, the sunflower will not stay as a flower because it will be pollinated by bees and butterflies, and it will produce its seeds. Then you will have several groups of sunflower seeds, and you're going to have to grow more sunflowers. Now the seeds are located in the center of the flower, just like this one. Once the plant stops growing, it will drop seeds onto the ground. Some seeds are spread by the wind or by animals. These seeds will begin to grow in the soil, and the life cycle of the plant will continue. All right, here are some of the questions that I would want you to ponder and think about. What do you think would happen if a plant did not have sunlight or water? Why does a plant need roots? What do the leaves of a plant do? How does a plant grow new plants? And if you could plant a garden, what kind of seeds would you plant? There's a lot in the stores, lots of seeds. Okay, now let us have your quiz. Are you ready? Let's start. What do many plants start life as? An insect, a seed, or some soil? Ding! Which of these things does a plant need to grow? Choose two. Light, chocolate, or water? Which way do sunflower roots grow? Up or down? I clearly mentioned it while I was trying to present. Plants use energy from the petals, insects, sun to make their food. The leaves soak up light, pollen, or soil. What do the petals do? Protect the roots, soak up water, or attract insects? Where do the new seeds come from? From inside people, from the soil, or from the flower, or inside the plant? I hope you enjoyed learning about what plants need to grow, and see you again soon. Bye now.